My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavengavengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, government says e-ticketing teething problems to end soon. Specific sectors targeted for minimum wage compliance. And graffiti suspects have a case to answer.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
The public has been assured the e-ticketing glitches experienced since yesterday will be addressed immediately. After numerous calls and complaints regarding the compulsory system, the Fiji Bus Operators Association, Vodafone Fiji, LTA and the government met today to iron out the teething problems. Akusita Thale with more details.
It's been revealed that some bus companies waited till last minute on Saturday to install e-ticketing machines. Around 40 machines were also reported to have been sabotaged in bus garages after installation.
So some bus companies have therefore been slow in the implementation, as a result of which their drivers have not received the appropriate training. So some of the mistakes we have seen, for example, have emanated from the fact that these bus companies have not trained their drivers in these machines.
The government says around 100 complaints were received. This is 0.03% of 600,000 card holders registered. FBOA President Richard Lal says they'll work together with Vodafone to ensure drivers are trained well.
We have to reevaluate the remuneration, etc. And all that, in the end of the day, when packaged together, I think it will resolve a lot of those issues that may, I mean, you know and I know, people don't like change. It's a major change. And we just got to get them to buy into the change.
The LTA is also investigating bus drivers who left passengers stranded at bus stops this morning.
And we've sent out our enforcement people as well as police to mitigate some of those issues. But it is a joint effort and we'll be more involved in the process as well, from ensuring that drivers, passengers, operators do comply with the e-ticketing.
That's an issue that needs to be resolved immediately between the bus operator and Vodafone. But as far as the passenger is concerned, and that's one of the things we made sure that the law provided, in the event the technology defaults or faults, the passengers do not get affected by that.
The Bus Operators Association assures the travelling public that all e-ticketing glitches will be looked into. The government has also confirmed that a passenger is allowed to board the bus for free in any case of machine failure, as that will be looked into by Vodafone and the bus company. Akusita Thale, FBC News.
Meanwhile, many students who boarded buses this morning on their way to school face some difficulty with the new e-ticketing system. FBC News journalist Kelly Vavala was at the Suva bus stand and reports students were confused and disappointed with the service provided by drivers, faulty machines and not being able to make it to school on time.
This was the scene at the bus stand this morning. Many school children crowded up to a bus, patiently waiting to tap their cards, while some did not have cards but were still allowed to get in.
Some of the students are over here coming free because they haven't got the card which been recharged. Our manager has told us to let the students in, as per our check has told us. So we are letting our school students to get in because we can't stop them because they are the future of our country.
Students were allowed to travel free for today since Vodafone Fiji and the Education Ministry continue to distribute e-transport cards.
Many students say they were not used to the new e-ticketing system while using it this morning. They said some machines were not working and it was a hassle for themselves and the drivers, but they still managed to board the bus for free.
My driver, I don't think he knows how to use it because he was telling us just come, go in. You know, we're trying to get early to school and since the e-ticketing thingy, we were kind of late this morning.
Some of the students, they don't have any cards. Some of them are like not topped up yet and they have to go in free, but the driver didn't accept that.
I think it's quite difficult. It's a challenging thing for us.
Attorney General Ayaside Gayoom says about 400 students who did not receive their e-cards will receive them soon.
We would assume by the end of this afternoon, at the latest by tomorrow morning, they would have all their cards. So there were some mistakes within the ministry where there were certain students who were actually subsidized students who received non-subsidized cards. So that's an issue that obviously has been picked up, but that does not mean they cannot travel. That's an internal money matter that we need to resolve with Vodafone.
Syed Qayyum also says the public should expect some teething problems as the system has just rolled out. Kalibadala, FBC News.
The Ministry of Employment will not be able to monitor every employer for compliance with the new national minimum wage rate of $2.68. However, Minister Chonil Sumate says they will target some employers. Anna Ravulo has more.
With the new minimum wage rate implemented last Saturday, all employers are expected to comply with it.
We do know, however, the sectors that tend to be the ones that infringe on these regulations. So within our own setup, we will target those particular sectors.
Meanwhile, during a consultation today, Unionist Kuini Lutua brought up the issue that minimum wage rate should differ for every sector.
If I'm employing a house girl, I might be able to afford $2 an hour, not $2.68. But that's only one employee. So why compare the individual families to the companies? So if a cafeteria, for instance, employs 5 to 10 people, maybe they should have a different national minimum wage.
Usumate responded saying that demarcating of wages would be a huge task for them.
We had to try to demarcate different wages for different employer sizes and different profitability. It would be a massive document. What we will have chosen to do now is identify the different wages for the lowest possible, for the smallest possible enterprise. But it does not limit the amount that people can pay above.
Usumate is also urging the public to report any employer who pays less than the minimum wage. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
The Suva Magistrates Court has ruled 2 men charged after an outbreak of anti-government graffiti in 2011 have a case to answer. Opposition MP Moses Mbulitavu and former businessman Jagat Karunaratne face charges of sedition. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Suva magistrate ruled this morning that the two will be put to defense. It is alleged that in August 2011, Bulitavu and Karunaratne spray-painted boards in different places between Nausori and Suva with seditious intention of bringing hatred or contempt or to excite disaffection against the government. Karunaratne's counsel submitted that apart from establishing the identity of the accused, the prosecution failed to establish enough to bring a case. Bulitavu's lawyers submitted there was no relevant and admissible evidence in relation to any of the required elements. The magistrate ruled that the court finds that prosecution did give evidence of spray painting being done and of the accused persons being at various meetings or locations related to the case. The trial resumes November 7th. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
11 people were charged with a total of 24 separate sexual offences last month. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions states there were 14 rape cases, 1 assault with intent to rape, 1 indecent assault and 8 sexual assault cases. In 1 instance, a victim was allegedly raped during a home invasion, and 3 instances where the victims were related. 5 of the victims were under 18. 2 cases were withdrawn after discontinuances were filed. Of these 2, 1 was withdrawn due to a false statement from the victim. Still to come, follow-ups underway on enumeration complaints and FEA staff to receive performance pay. Stay with us.
Moala radada ranalika o tikongo na tao no singatoka ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na seri.
Ya dora chubuni kurna bili. Ibora ni batu karaham para binaranga. Do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bull FM number 2 na seri. Bula.
Bull FM number 2 na seri.
Enumerators will be revisiting various households this week that need to be recounted. Bureau Statistics Senior Statistician Emily Soderberg says this is done as the households feel they have not been enumerated well. Soderberg says they will also revisit households that were vacant in the last 2 weeks during the enumeration period.
We have been getting calls on the
helpline from concerned households that feel that their homes are not enumerated well. With that, we are doing a sweep across the country this week.
The Fiji Electricity Authority has announced a performance pay of $1.48 million for its staff today. Making the announcement this afternoon, Public Enterprises Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum said the performance pay is a reflection of hard work by the FEA staff. Rachel Nuth has more.
A total of 777 staff will receive this payout.
And today, of course, we are recognizing the individuals based on their level of input into the productive capacity and the output of Fiji Electricity Authority. $1.48 million, actually, ladies and gentlemen, is quite a substantial amount of money. That, of course, the bulk of it goes to the salary and wage earners of 739 of you.
FEA hopes this performance pay will serve as an encouragement to their staff to strive for more.
Favorable economic environment for us to prosper in terms of particularly rural electrification program, and looking at some other ways of increasing revenue in future so that business of FEA can grow sustainably going forward.
FEA is also working on expanding to the renewable energy sector, which is expected to create more jobs for locals. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
The Suva Magistrates Court will rule on Fiji Times publisher Hank Arts' bail variation application on Friday. Arts, who is charged with sedition, appeared in court this afternoon. Arts wants to travel to Honolulu this month to celebrate his 28th wedding anniversary. His lawyer said his client has adhered to all his bail conditions and will not abscond, as he is 70 years old and will not live his life as a fugitive. Meanwhile, state lawyer objected to the bail variation. He said Arts is a flight risk and already has the liberty to vacation anywhere in Fiji. The Fiji Roads Authority has appointed a new Chief Executive Officer, Jonathan Moore, who officially started work today. Moore is a British national and a professional engineer who brings with him a great wealth of 35 years of experience in the infrastructure sector. He has worked in high-level institutions around the world, placing great value on good governance, engineering, time management. Moore says it will be a challenging role.
35 years of experience, gained from a labourer through to a director, and gained in London and the Middle East and India and Malaysia, so I'm looking forward to bringing that experience here. Working with the Fijian team and hoping to pass my experience on to them and bring them on for the future. That's my ultimate goal, is to hand over in the future to somebody else.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, Fijians shine in top 14 rugby promotion, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Economy remains on track for positive growth. And in Growing Fiji, new training center to upskill workers in the sugar industry. Stay with us.
I'm Anare Sorbakro of Nayabu Wendibuga Telebu. Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the
Welcome back. Leading business tonight. In its latest economic review, the Reserve Bank states the economy remains on track to achieve its 8th consecutive year of growth. RBF Governor Arif Ali says improved global conditions and outlooks continue to augur well for the Fijian economy. Growth perspectives for this year are slightly upward biased following the base effects from lower than expected growth last year. To date, sectoral performances remain mixed, with ongoing consumer and business optimism and the positive impact from the 2017-2018 national budget policies. Inflation fell to 1.9% in August from a high of 6.8% in January. Ali says it is expected to be around 2.5% by year end. And we now join Savanatha from HFC Bank with the latest from the currency market.
Vinaka, let's look at the wrap of the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week.
6 securities were traded, totaling to 15,012 shares in 13 transactions. The accumulating value of the transaction was $32,827. The 6 securities were Amalgamated Telecom Holdings, Freebird Institutes, FMF Foods, RB Patel, Vision Investments, and Fijian Holdings. In terms of share price movement, FMF shares witnessed a gain of 5 cents to conclude at a share price of $1, with Vision Investment shares increasing by 6 cents to close the week at a new maximum price of $2.52. After opening at an all-time high share price of $5, Fijian Holding shares fell by 10 cents and ended the week at $4.90. During the week, the overall market capitalization rose by $12.68 million to close at $1.69 billion. And that is our South Pacific Stock Exchange wrap as we begin a new week. Vinaka.
Thanks, Avanatha. Now to today's exchange rates and foreign currencies in the Fijian dollar. The Fijian dollar weakened against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar to close at 3.20 and 48 cents respectively. While closer to home, the Australian and New Zealand dollars strengthened to close at 61 and 66 cents, and the PNG Kina closed at 1.35. As for the commodities market, it was a mixed day as we start the week with oil prices strengthening to close at $51.66 a barrel. Gold was down to close at $1,278 per ounce, and silver closed at $69 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, the Fiji Sugar Corporation is building a new training center in the Lautoka mill yard to train workers in different skill sets. The FSC says skilled workers will benefit sugar mills and the industry as a whole, as the certified workers in different fields mean an improved crushing season and smooth running of the sugar mills. The 500,000 training complex is a joint venture between the FSC and the European Union. This move has been welcomed by the Sugarcane Growers Council. And that was business this evening. Now to the latest in sports. Here's Jamie.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. Ahead in sports, Vikings file official complaint against Fijian Drua. And boxing promoter facilitates more bouts for women. This and more coming up.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ. मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1. इट्स सो हॉट.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिकी से. मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं. मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट. आई लव मिर्ची एफएम.
हमें स्पिन टको ताबुआ के मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे.
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट.
The Fiji Airways Drua is under the spotlight again after its 66-5 loss to the Canberra Vikings last Friday. The Vikings have lodged. Meanwhile, the Fijian Drua has slipped to 4th place on the National Rugby Championship points table after suffering its heaviest defeat yet in NRC competition. The Fijian Drua, alongside table leaders Queensland Country, Canberra Vikings and Perth Spirit, are all locked on 15 points. However, the other 3 teams have a better points differential. Meanwhile, the Fijian Drua plays the Greater Sydney Rams on Saturday. Vodafone Fiji under-20 winger Filippo Ndaungunu was on fire again for Queensland Country, scoring a hat-trick of tries in his 54-12 win over Melbourne Rising over the weekend. Vodafone Flying Fijians winger Nemani Nandolo was in top form for Montpellier as they thumped Brive 57 points to 10 in French top 14 competition. Waisea Level was also on the try-scoring list for Stade Francais. Vasil Prasad has more.
Montpellier winger Nemani Nandolo was the star for his side, scoring 3 tries in the French top 14 clash against Brive over the weekend. Nandolo broke defense and made few powerful runs as Montpellier thumped Brive 57-10. Former Fiji Sevens rep Waisiana Yadalevu also managed to get a try under his name as they beat Pau 25-23. Other players such as Levan Imbotia, Kini Morivalu and Joshua Tuisova were also in action over the weekend. Meanwhile, in the next round, you can watch the battle between Toulouse and Clermont at 7 AM next Monday live on FBC TV. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Melbourne Storm romped to their third NRL Premiership with the 34-6 grand final victory over North Queensland last night. Meanwhile, it was a night to remember for the Bangasao community in Turek as Suliasi Vunivalu and his Melbourne side stormed to an NRL Grand Final win last night. Families and friends gathered at Vunivalu's residence, dressed in purple and white to support their favourite NRL player and his team. Eroni Tuinuku reports.
It was a proud moment for the Vunivalu family after the final whistle at Sydney's ANZ Stadium last night.
Everyone is emotional here. We are so proud of him. I think the cover and the celebration will go until Suli comes back home.
Last night's win over the Cowboys switched the celebration mode for the Bangasao community.
Right now we are just celebrating. We are so thankful to God for giving Suli and the Melbourne Storm team the victory for this final.
It is a night of celebration at the Bangasao community as Suliasi Vunivalu and his family members are here celebrating the victory of the Melbourne Storms. The families and friends of Vunivalu gathered at his residence here at Bangasao to celebrate and support Vunivalu and his fellow teammates, the Melbourne Storms. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
Local-based rugby league players will give their best for the Vodafone Fiji residents Mbati in the Battle of the Mbati Challenge this weekend. These players go up against the side packed with experienced NRL players to claim a spot in the World Cup team. Eroni Tuinuku has more.
It's the last chance for the Fiji residents players to impress the Fiji Bati coaching panel and get a spot in the World Cup squad. Something Sakyu Sangavindi is looking forward to this week.
I've been playing rugby for whole of my life. So nothing changes much from these two sports, just the numbers and the training.
Playing against the big guns in rugby league will be a learning platform as well.
It always be my dream since a little kid to represent Fiji in a World Cup, and I've been working hard for it during the club games, and I'm so happy that I'm chosen to on the white jersey in the Fiji residents team.
Despite the lack of experience, just to be selected into the resident squad is a milestone achievement.
I've been training really hard for this battle. Since I was selected last week, I've been preparing well. Since first time I played league, which was just a month ago. And yeah, I'm really prepared for the task ahead. And really looking forward to be selected to play for the World Cup ahead of us.
The residents team will clash against overseas-based Mbati side on Saturday to determine the final squad to the World Cup next month. Eroni Tuinuku, FBC Sports.
Well, our Toka football side will be one of the top bets at next week's Courts Inter-District Championship. The Blues have won the title 16 times, second only to Mba, who has recorded 24 wins. However, the Sugar City side will have an edge with home crowd advantage and a few new inclusions expected to boost the team.
Lotoka especially has got a lot of players coming from overseas, so they probably will have a good side, some renowned name players, and there's some foreign players as well.
Canada Fiji Southern Boxing Promotion says it will continue to encourage women in boxing at its events. The promoters have included 2 women's bouts for its event in Nandi next month. Rohit Deo has more.
Priscilla Kolitapa is one of those many women boxers who have been struggling to get a fight, but their wait is finally over.
It's been my dream and my goal as well to be a one-time champion in the world, not only in Fiji, but right now they have rated me as a champion in Fiji.
She is encouraging more women to take up the sport.
I'm encouraging women, and especially young girls and women, to take up boxing. If you don't want it to be to be a sport, do it as a self-defense, because you don't know what time or when things will just happen, an accident like that just happen.
Promoter Simon Noshad says the positive response during the last promotion encouraged them to organize more women's fights.
As you said on our first program, we have introduced the women's fight, and this has been very encouraging, and we have been commended by the Fiji Women Crisis Center for that.
The promotion takes place on Friday week at Nandi Prince Charles Park. Rohit Dev, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media, a new app that helps you find ATM skimmers so you don't get scammed. That's coming up.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuyazo silil tale, nagurara may naomani, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu Venezuela, nagudurong varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In new media, you don't have to fidget card readers to figure out if there's a skimmer. Meet the skimmer scanner. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to a brand new month. The whole of Fiji witnessed a great sunny day. It was extremely gorgeous. Almost all the homes I passed today had something drying under the sunshine. Looking at the west, partly sunny and cloudy, but with no chances of rain. Eastwards from Pakaba to Suva, a beautiful sunny day with high humidity level. The mums must be loving this weather as it's great for washing. And up north, a sunny day throughout, great time for the tourists to take a road trip. At sea, a strong wind warning is in place for Vanuatu waters. And for the tides, high tide tomorrow morning will be at 4:19 with low tide at 10:36. See the beauty of sunrise at 5:47. For tomorrow, a very sunny day is indicated for us with low chances of light rain. Tomorrow's temps, low Toka and Ba will be quite warm with highs of 31 degrees. And looking further on to Wednesday, a slight change in the weather pattern. We're looking at some rain, but hopefully that flies away. And that's all from the weather world. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fiji and Pulse today, we asked, do you like the use of e-ticketing machines and buses?
I think using the e-card was pretty much simple than using money. So
using e-ticketing transport is very fast and easy and convenient. Thank you.
I think so. We ought to have an open mind to e-ticketing. Gradually, changes would occur, and we need to accept to those changes.
We change our attitudes. We have to be receptive to changes. Because changes will come, we have to take it. Rather than keeping back, now we are moving forward to modern technology.
Recapping the main stories, government says e-ticketing teething problems to end soon. Specific sectors targeted for minimum wage compliance, and graffiti suspects have a case to answer. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question, the results from last week, we had asked, are local players in the Fijian draw ready for flying Fijian duties? 58% said yes. This week we are asking, do you think e-ticketing makes bus travel more efficient? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day, an absolutely stunning picture sent by Nadia Khan captured at Marriott, Fiji. We'd like to encourage all our viewers to send in more pictures of our beautiful Fiji, whether it's our tropical flowers, stunning waterfalls, maybe a visiting cruise ship, or even your favorite pet. Just send them through to email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Ayaw ko yazo sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali taki yang gitu Venezuela, nagudo rongo, barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.